What's up, Alpha? It's your boy, Alpha. May looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy, and we are here to review Queen Serpent, episode 3, The Price. And my initial thoughts before I even tell you anything about liking and subscribing and hitting that notification bell and doing all that and follow my link tree below to watch my podcast, merch, books, all this stuff is in that link tree below. I want to say down with the monarchy. Down with the monarchy. It's amazing how this show just showed you when you just visually see it. If you can see it in shows like The Crown, the other show, but it's amazing how this show can show you how in a monarchy system, one thing can happen. One thing. Let me know your thoughts on this too. I want to know y'all thoughts on this. How do you feel about one man's emotional stability at any moment can lead to anything? It can literally lead to anything. This man, we're gonna talk about the show, but I don't know your thought. One man, just one day, he can be the greatest king in the world. He can be the best human being. But one bad day, as the Joker would say, one bad day could literally lead to the loss of lives, war, anything. I don't know. How do y'all feel about how the monarchy in that situation? Not saying the monarchy always does that, but it's a lot of times in the monarchy that you see that happens when one dude's feelings, literally one man's feelings, can literally lead to a punishment and anything happen. And that's what this episode is about. Is named The Price. Somebody has to pay a price to get what they want. As you know, sacrifice requires something, whether it's time, money, whatever. To gain something, you have to give something. The law of equivalent exchange and alchemy, all those things, the Bible, all those things you have to give to get. You know what I'm saying? You have to give to receive. That is one of the big things in the Bible. But let's get into the story. Let's get in here. I don't want to waste your time. We're going to try to get through this fast so you don't have to sit here through a whole video. But I would like for you to come in. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me your favorite scenes. Tell me how you feel about the monarchy. Tell me how you feel about Catherine. How you feel about Henri. How about Francois? Any of these people. Was the king right or wrong? Let me know your thoughts. And we're going to go over and I'm going to question and ask as we go through the story. So let's buckle up. We start the story where Rahima is being accused by the other servants of blowing up Natalia and messing up her face, maiming her essentially. And Catherine looks, said accidents happen, and if anyone messes with her servant, which now Rahima is her official servant, they have to answer to me. She's the queen, they have to answer to her. And no one wants that to happen, right? Because she is a menace. Rahima is now the official maid of her servant, whichever one y'all want to call her, and she even give her clothes. She picks out this specific dress, says, "Do you like it?" She says it's the most magnificent dress I have seen, and that dress comes up important later on as we find out more information. So she takes the new dress, and she tells the story about love. Catherine talks about love and how she wished she didn't love. We see a young Catherine meeting her magician, Ruggiero, talking about that mirror that we saw in episode 2. Like, the mirror shows you things that you want to see. We saw that in episode 2, early in the episode. Like, look into the mirror, you see what you want to see. That's how she diagnosed Natalia and how all that happened, and she wanted to show her how to get revenge. Is why she rewarded her early. I like that tie-in. That's a nice tie-in on this episode. We know that she saw. Ruggiero says he knows that she saw that little boy's dead body in the woods, and she inquires, "Were you the one that did it?" He said he just fed him, told him to go on his way. I have nothing to do with that, but everything comes with a price. The magic has a cost. He's letting you know early in the series what this episode is about. It's gonna have to do with me, and it's a cost that comes with anything you want. Like, it's like a genie. If you know Aladdin, as y'all know. If you know the real story about Genie in history, you know it comes with a cost. You never quite get what you want without losing something you don't want to lose. Henri returns after he sends these love letters to Catherine because he honestly do love her, but I don't think he understands her. It's the weirdest relationship ever till later on in the story. He comes back with a whole baby and an Italian mistress, and you see Diana's wayward alongside Catherine. You start in the room wondering like, why is she so weird? We're gonna talk about that later on. Henry comes home as the hero of the friend. It is urged to King Francis to give some land that Francis owned with the Sultan and all that. Some of it back, half of it back to the the Holy Italian Empire, Holy Roman Empire, led by the Italians. He's encouraged to create a more peaceful and prosperous land. He states that I'll give y'all a few, and that's it. I don't want to have to give. I'm not giving y'all half. I'm giving y'all because we won the spoils of war. My son and the Sultan went to war and they won it. They deserve. We deserve this. Y'all didn't even do nothing to give it. So we'll give you a few of the lands back to the Holy Roman Emperor. We see Diane and Catherine get together now as a team because she realizes that if Catherine can't get pregnant and he finds somebody royalty, Filippa, she doesn't matter. She's a peasant. She cannot be royalty. She's insignificant. But if he keeps going on escapades and finds someone of royal descent, they both could be moved out. Because I'm pretty sure her cousin is not kicking her out, as Henry really likes her. But if another woman that he actually like is more involved with finds out what him and Anne is doing, because like I said, let's be honest, she is kind of hurt over it. We see her throwing letters, but she's not like invested in him like that, right? Like I said, it's a weird relationship. It's like she loves him, but she doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like she doesn't understand love at this young age, but she does. So Diane is kind of safe in that situation. But if he actually finds one like scolding and angry, she will kick Diane out if she found what they're doing. Whereas Catherine is kind of like, I can't really do it for him, and he don't do it for me. So I guess it's the best case, even though personally I like to do. So we get that situation, and so they become more of a team. They throws all the letters away that he sent her from war because she was sending all of them. She wanted to keep the last one. He like, hey, listen, a man will lead you to bad situation, which is what Catherine also tells Rahima of the boy who liked her. Like, listen, having these men in this situation will cause problems. You know what I mean? So would cause problems. And we see the situation in which Henry told Filippa that Diane will be a grandmother while they talking to each other, right? And that made me laugh out loud. She's like, Henry told me you will be like a grandmother to the baby. And that made me laugh out loud. I enjoyed that part. But we also find out that Anne is a little crazy because she kind of was like, "Oops," and like she finna throw the baby out the window if Philippa doesn't move to the outside lands and stay far away from the kingdom. Like, we'll give you a piece of land. You can have children. You can have your child, and y'all can grow up on this prosperous land and have a good life. Philippa like, what if I don't? Like I said, that's when she threatened to throw. She did the little oops to the baby near the window. We see King Francis really likes Catherine, tells her Henry is not smart enough to come up to a plan to talk to the Sultan and convince him to go to war with them to make the battle easier and they won't have no losses. We meet this other dude, this weird dude who had this, like, it was like a 6A class, in which he was like, oh, if they compatible, go, whoop. But if it's not incompatible, ooh. It was like the most awkward 6A class I've ever seen. And he was like, but if they make love, they can have a baby. And it was all kind of strange. I don't even know. And he was explaining why they were incompatible because they weren't really in love and they wasn't doing all that. We see that we go into Diana's talking to Henry, trying to ease him up to go to Catherine's room. She said, what's your favorite Bible verse? He said John 5:15, I believe. I didn't quite write that down, but I think that was, I think off my memory I can say that. She goes in and is she giving him head while reading the Bible? He ends up in a room. I wrote in my notes that he it's kind of it's not motivated at all. Like his stroke game is not motivated in this situation. But he actually was able to put it in and finish this time. I guess. You go and you wonder why this is. It is like hilarious that like they have no like relationship, but they have a relationship, right? It's more like a family advice relationship, and it's just like no passion at all at this point in the story. We see Henry's brother Dolphin Francois. He's with his dwarf girl that he's been sleeping with, and she listens to Dolph, and they sleep together. And we see King Francis's cousin walk in. He wants to control land and be able to control the lands, and also be able to, let's say, make peace and be able to make money off this situation. Mostly with the European nations, the British, mostly in this area, he wants to have a good relationship with them. So he's like, listen, Catherine is in the way. It's going to be hard when the people want your brother instead of you. So Catherine is the smart one. We might need to get rid of Catherine. He, of course, kicks him out, which also at one wonders me, which also has me wondering in this situation, because I was actually wondering about this. I was like, is he gonna actually do it? And we never got that answer. By the way, we never figured out if he actually was going to do it. We never figured it out. I want. This is a question. This is one of the questions that y'all wanted to ask y'all. We at the halfway point, 12:30. We by at the half. We a little bit over half. Do y'all think the Dolphin Francois? Did you think Francois put the hit on her? Do y'all think he did it? Because as we finna talk about, it's questioned, but we never quite figured out the answer. We never figured out the answer. That is one of the main things we don't figure it out. We never figured out. So let me know. Do y'all have clues according to what we know in the story? Did he set the assassin to get Catherine? That we're gonna talk about later. We see Catherine she says she's late and she is happy. So we go on the thing. Francois is of course drunk, so he disses Catherine. She runs off. King Francis slaps Francois over the diss. He says the king never lets an enemy know what he is thinking, and he is not petty, jealous, and a drunk. I thought at this point this would lead to the turn. I thought it was going to be definitive that we was going to get a turn on this point because he is upset that his father embarrassed him in front of these people. And this why I honestly thought it was going to be a turn. And gives Catherine advice on not forcing the birth because she was upset not because of Dolphin's word that he said about her, but she was upset that all of a sudden she started bleeding. She was upset about that. And she is giving her advice, and we learned a lot about Diane in this situation. We learned a lot, and she tell her not to wish for anything too hard. We learned about her first husband that she was sent off, and what he did to her, and she goes in this little trance, and she's looking off, and it's rough. It's a rough scene, but it kind of embroidered more of their relationship going forward. And now you're gonna see them probably as more when they in the past segment as a team. They like a unit now because like I told you why I feel this way, and we're kind of linked. Catherine even said now I kind of feel like I trust her now. We see Matilde, the dwarf girl. She is being dissed by the idiot brother. He called her a freak, and she said, "I thought you was different," and walked off. Assassins do attack Catherine in the woods, but he gets knocked out by a random piece of wood that was randomly beside her. She knocks him out. She runs in the woods. It's like a misty, dark woods. Henri runs in the woods, finds Catherine after... I don't know if he said he knew she was attacked or did he see her go in the wood. But they actually have passionate love for the first time. They have passionate love. And I'm like, oh, finally, they needed that situation. She was scared. She just got attacked. Henri comes to her rescue. And That's the situation. We we see they we see that they go back to the situation. We see they go back to the king. They say, "Listen, I think Francois and this other man is setting up to murder, assassinate Catherine. They want to assassinate her, but they have no proof because they don't want to put Matilda in this situation. This is an interesting situation because they are protecting Matilda, who knows what they were planning. Again, we know that one person planned this, but we have no clue if the other person planned this. You know what I mean? We don't know if the Prince Francois ever planned this. So they accused him. The king said, "You have no evidence. It was probably some bandits out there. They live in that part." Of course, Montmorency says, of course, they said that he want peace. He don't want no problems. He trying to keep the. You notice in here, as his loyal servant, he is trying to keep the peace heavy in this situation. So Catherine goes to what's it, Rotini? I always say his name right. Ruggiero. She goes to Ruggiero. She goes to Ruggiero and asks, "I want to get pregnant," but she gonna have to pay the price if she chooses. She can choose not to get pregnant. She can choose not to, but it's gonna come down to a choice of choosing a situation that she don't want to choose, but she has to make a choice. He warns her about the wrong mushroom and gave her a book. The queen meets Catherine and she says she needs her dressmaker for something. He rushes her off as he thinks it's a big opportunity meeting the queen and being able to address the queen, as he is from where she's from, but now he can like get a promotion. Because like I said, Catherine is not meant to be the queen in this situation. So he like, if I get good with the queen, I can get a promotion. This is big for me. And she drops the book in his room. She drops the book in his room as she puts it on the little table. I don't know if she placed it. And it's like, "I need to talk to you about a situation." And he runs her off. We see that Prince Dolphin, and I said Prince. Oh, I say no. The Dolphin Francois and Prince Henri are playing that little racquetball game they're playing, and Henri starts, and and Francois starts to struggle. He grabs his chest, said he's having a hard time. He needs a break. Henri like, "You don't need a break," so they keep playing. He falls to his knees and says, "I told you I need a break." Of course, the dressmaker Sergio gives him water, and he faints and starts foaming from the mouth. He's grabbing his heart. He's grabbing him right here on the left. I don't want to make sure I live. He's grabbing his left side, and as he's doing this, Catherine says she don't know what's going on, so she shrugs, and we find out he passes away. Henri, you can see Henri is emotionally distraught over his brother, but we find out he had a heart problem since he was a child. He said that he didn't have it's like most young people at birth, once they get overstimulated, that they become sweaty, tired, they have a heart problem. It can hit at any time. They didn't have like medicines, they didn't have like surgery, they didn't know how to handle this during this period. So it's like sometimes it happened at birth. The King Francis wasn't hearing any of that. He said he's gonna start a war with Spain because he refused to believe his son had a weak heart. And this is when we come to this story of the first question I asked y'all. I clearly asked y'all at the beginning, do y'all think it's right that the monarchy can go off pure emotion? Pure emotion. Because that's what he's going off of. Pure emotion. And it's going to start an entire war. Of course, Montmorency and everybody else is hinting like, "Yo, we don't want to fight no more. We are in a peaceful time. We can get peace." And this is after after the Italian Roman Empire was basically saying that, "Listen, can we get these other lands and all of that, because we want this one island. It's gonna be a lot of trouble for you. We can go take care of that. You don't gotta worry about that, and that's what we want added on to the small lands you got. Maybe not half, but can we get this one more piece of land?" And this falling right after that, right? So those people, it's the people in there, Henry's cousin, and the other guy who was on the side. I don't even know his name right now. He is like, they are like, Italians good at doing this because they all know that the king is just acting emotional and that it's not really right. But we need a scapegoat so we don't have to go war. So we gonna put on the girl we don't like. We don't like Catherine. So we know that we don't like Catherine. So let's just put it on her. Let's give the hint that the Italians like doing that. Which comes in the case in other cases later on. I said they stay trying to set Catherine up. So Dolphin Francois really had a heart attack during the birth, and the magician Ruggiero gave her the book that would be left in her dressmaker's room, and her choice ends up being. But Morrison, the guard, comes in, says the book was in his rooms about mushrooms and poisons that Ruggiero gave her, and said, "Did you poison the king?" And asked straight up to Catherine, "Did he do it? Did he do this?" This is the choice she got to make. My Morrissey takes her to the side. I think this is his name, my Morris. He takes her to the side, explains to her, "Listen, somebody got to take the fall, or we got to go to war. And I don't feel like going to war. This is easy. He can take the fall, and it can be peace, or you can take the fall, but it might not happen because he likes you, and there would be a lot more evidence needed." A lot more evidence needed to put you away because we have no direct evidence to you. We have direct evidence to him. We have direct evidence to him that he was the one that did it, even though it's not real evidence. But to appease the king, we got evidence. So you have a choice to make. We have a choice. Are you gonna risk being executed? Because it's a risk. And or possibly a war, or you just gonna get this man up and we can just appease the king and it's over with. She says, "Forgive him." Morrissey said it had to be done as he talked to her in the corner, and he knows it. He knows it's not true. Now she will be pregnant, as I stated. That's basically what the deal was, right? Morrissey stated that he is talking to Morrissey is talking to the king. The king know what he did. He said, "Do you think it's wrong for me to execute that man?" And he's basically like, "You're a bereaved father, and you had to take it out on somebody." And Francis went in on my dude. He said, "You left your kids to take care of mine. You think I respect your opinion?" He said, "I gave everything to you." He said, "Wow, you just wasted your time." I said, "Ooh, I'm telling you, emotional instability. Even for a man that seemed like throughout the whole thing, he's been a good dude. It's just that one bad day, he just firing people, torturing a man, man. Even though he know this scene kind of tells me he knew that he was just overreacting. Cause he heard what the doctor said. He knew it. It was no evidence that there was poison, but he wanted to take it out on somebody. And he kicks his loyal servant out. The one who gave up his children to take care of his children. He kicks him out. And we see a disturbing scene of 4 horses with this innocent man, the dressmaker, in which they are essentially pulling him apart as all 4 horses run in a different direction. It's very disturbing. By the way, at this point, I do like how young Catherine is more emotional than older Catherine, and you can start seeing her see advantages in being heartless. And you can slowly see it, but she's still emotional, right? She gets sick, of course. She runs away. She gets sick. She throws up, and we find out she's pregnant. We see Francis celebrate him and the new Dubois, the new Dolphin. I said Dubois, the new Dolphin, Henri, and his Dolphins. Y'all can let me know in the comments. What is her name again? Dolphins. That's it, right? Because he's the Dolphin, right? And she's the Dolphiness. So they celebrate them, and we see her servants as they celebrate say, if she did it, Sebastian, who is her favorite servant. Just imagine what she'll do to us. If she's willing to let him get executed, what would she let us go for? Because he is by far the favorite. If y'all know, if y'all watch the first two episodes, Sebastian is her go-to counsel in everything. In the future, we meet Saint Queen Mary, Catherine's daughter-in-law. Mary, all of her servants are named Mary, so she's a little crazy. We find out that Catherine's son has passed away. They both argue about who is mourning over her son's death more. We see that the dress that Catherine gave Rahima in the beginning of the episode belongs to Mary. And Mary pretends like, oh, it looks cuter on you than me, but she's upset about it. And we see that Mary wants the throne from Catherine, and we get a plot point for the first time from present day. And oh boy, it's interesting. I'm looking forward to it. We get not present day, but present day on this story. We get a time frame and we get the plot line. So we probably gonna spend more time in the future now. We probably gonna start getting more splits, half and half, because this episode was like beginning and end, but the whole middle part was about the past. I think we're gonna start getting more half and half now because we got a plot point for present day, and it's a very interesting. That was a really good job of setting up, by the way. It was a really good job of setting up the plot line for the present day and what's the big thing that's gonna happen. I am excited. I wanna know what's gonna happen. It's a very, like I said, it's very interesting. We also still get the plot point that we've been on from the past. How does she become queen? We notice now she is in line to become queen because Henri is queen. I mean king. I mean dolphin, and that means he's in line to be king. So I'm very interested to see. Let me know y'all thoughts and how do y'all feel about the story? Do y'all think the present day will be more interesting than the past? How do you think about Catherine? Should the servants be distrustworthy of her? It's something that I'm excited to see. I can't wait to see y'all next week so we can talk about it more. And I appreciate y'all. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button if you're on Facebook, wherever you at. Just do it. I appreciate y'all. We're about to be out of here. Thank y'all for watching. Queen Serpents was a really good episode. Peace.